All right, Kathy's, we are back. A lot of people asking, are we 1 a week podcast? Are we 2 a week a podcast? I don't know, but we're approaching 1,000 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck off. We do it when we can.
Yeah, it's 9 years and counting at this point. We're almost a decade in.
Yeah, so we're doing our best. All right, I want to talk about something that went crazy viral on Twitter or X. And I don't know if it went for everyone, but it definitely goes for people in the group chat demographic who follow kind of finance and tech. Bill Ackman put out a tweet that basically said something about to the effect of, in the younger generation of men, so many of them are isolated and spend so much time on the internet that they don't know how to communicate. So I agree. 100% of
that's not a newsflash. We've been talking about this for years.
Yeah. I'm just trying
he's super famous and he's a billionaire.
Yeah, which I'm okay with him saying it, and I'm very happy that he's super famous and a billionaire. And then he kept on going where he said, when in my day or whatever, basically I used a line, "May I meet you?" and it broke the barrier, and I was able to meet people of the opposite sex and whatever. So first it gets like destroyed just on social because it's just funny hearing it from a guy who's like tall, he's a good looking guy. He's a billionaire. His approach, he could have said, "May I fuck you?" and it might have worked. So we don't know where he's coming from. And so all of these young guys went out over the weekend, and who knows, it could be fake, it could be real, I don't know. Some appeared to be real, but basically said, "I went out to the bar, I used it, and everyone laughed and thought I was autistic." I don't have a problem with him. I find him entertaining. He's just like a cocky billionaire, and he keeps us entertained in a very, very, like, everything he does on social media is blockbuster. I don't have a problem with him. I think he's, he likes the limelight. He likes to comment on everything. And I think it's hilarious just, how he operates. And it's just funny. And you should definitely go look "May I Meet You" on X. It is some of the
memes are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is like dying laughter funny, especially this guy who's like a crypto guy, Nick O'Neill. He just walks up to everyone and says, "May I meet you?" It's hilarious.
So I will say, to give Ackman credit, I don't even know if you know this, Francis Tiafoe.
Yeah, he
quietly backed him when he was a young teen. His dad was like a groundskeeper at a country club. Tiafoe was this like clearly outstanding talent, and Ackman paid for everything. So yeah, kudos to Ackman for doing that.
I actually don't think he's a bad guy by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I actually think he's probably genuinely a good person. He just, because he's a billionaire and he like opines on everything, like, it comes off as just out of touch, and people, it's like obviously not in vogue to be a billionaire, so it's very easy to dunk on him. But incredible content. I encourage everyone to open up X and search "May I Meet You?" because it is hilarious. And just to double click on it, I absolutely agree with him that I think in the internet age that it is incredibly difficult for young people to get comfortable with communicating, because all of their messaging and all their ways of communication are via text, via email, via direct message. And, I don't know if I mentioned this, but a few months ago, my wife went and bought a landline for our house because she wanted the kids to be able to like call the grandparents and call friends, just picking up a phone, and just because it became a thing, like teaching younger children how to communicate via phone. And funny enough, I was out with one of our friends today with two kids, and he said and what's funny is we get the landline delivered to our house, $10 on Amazon. Our landline doesn't work. So I call Spectrum. They're like, yeah, we have to send out a specialist. I was like, all right, forget it. There's a company called TinCan where it's a landline where it's $75 and it connects to your Wi-Fi and it like limits who you can call. And it's like just enough of the features where like it's, there's not going to be strangers calling you, but like you get to call your friends and call grandparents. Genius idea, because I think it is missing for a lot of young people. Like we've talked about this on the pod. Like there are people, Gen Z, that when they go to dinner, they're nervous about ordering because they don't know how to communicate. They haven't talked to anyone. Whereas we would have to, like when we talked to our friends in middle school and high school, it was via the phone. So different of a communication style. I didn't write a text till I was like 25 years old.
Yeah, the Nokia wasn't very good when we were in
30.
high school.
Maybe, I mean, what was Sidekick? When was T-Mobile Sidekick?
You had that in college. What are you talking about?
No, I had
you and Scobin and Andres. You guys all had
two-way
those in
pager.
college. Two-way, yeah.
But we didn't actually text. It was just a flex to have it. It was just a flex to have it. I didn't actually write anything to anybody because no one else had it.
Like, think about it, the downstream effects, because I saw this on Twitter and I'm curious because you deal with bankers all the time and probably younger ones too, because they're the ones that are on the front lines talking to companies, that they're afraid to meet people in person. I don't know if you've had that experience, like sub 35. So not the 40-year-olds.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The sub 35-year-old banker that is, I don't know, at Goldman Sachs or at JP Morgan, their experience is way different as a youth. Their parents are forcing them into communication type events where they have no choice but to communicate. So they're not like that. It's the haves and have nots. It's the families that don't have money, that did not have the bandwidth to think about like, oh, maybe I should take away the iPad, take away the phone, take away this.
They give them a video game and they don't actually talk to folks.
I deal with young private equity kids all day, young VCs. They're incredible communicators. They're very direct. They're very smart. They're very personable. Not anything like what you think. It's literally everyone else. It's the family that was too busy, so they just stuck an iPad in front of their kids. Those are the families that are those children are the ones that are going to struggle, because like the wealthy families, they're not, in the afternoon, they're doing debate or whatever, right? Like they're not doing the things that like, so I think that is a pretty big divide. But I encourage you with young children. It's a really interesting concept of having a landline and having them call their, relatives, their friends. And, I was talking to our friend John about this. It's like, if our two sons, our oldest, are, they're close, they'll have same interests, they play sports. I was like, they should talk every week. It would be fun. Like just to like, whatever, talk about Chiefs or whatever it is, even for 5 minutes, if they can have a conversation, I think it's an incredible skill set.
Yeah. I think when we were young, I remember being on the phone with friends at like 11, 12. Mm-hmm. Because there was no AIM back then. Yeah. I think AIM was in our teens.
Yeah.
And that was the way you want to talk to your friends. Like, hey, what'd you do today?
Yeah. Hey, can I come over? You called them.
Right. Like, can you ask your mom, is it okay? I can come over.
Today
How many kids are doing that? How many kids are doing that?
Today it's pull up.
Yeah.
That's the extent of the conversation.
The thing I'd recommend, I don't know how young we veer in terms of audience. Speech and debate actually helped me tremendously in high school.
Yeah.
Because you go up in front of judges and people.
Yeah.
And you do embarrass yourself because you're 15, 16 and you don't really know how to talk in front of an audience, but it teaches you.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to go up.
Interesting you say that, because at our older one's school, one of the most important things that they focus on is public speaking. they make everyone speak in front of the school, the entire school. Just think about it. Like growing up, the only time I spoke in front of the entire school is I ran for student body president, I think like twice. So I had to go in front of the school to speak. If I never did that, I would have never, ever spoken in front of the school. And so I think it's incredibly important to hone those skills. And there's so many different ways. Like obviously speech and debate's an incredible one, but like maybe your kid's school emphasizes on it, or if not, you may have to give them a phone or put them in an activity which forces them to learn how to communicate. Because like that's the biggest difference.
Here's the thing: speech and debate at a public school, it's free. It doesn't cost money. Anyone could join the speech and debate team.
Yeah,
anyone can join the club and go up there. And maybe it's just because we played sports growing up. The competitive side of me, when I went up initially and got embarrassed, I made sure the next time I wouldn't be embarrassed. So I prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's like sports, right? If you suck, you get embarrassed. A speech and debate, you get embarrassed if you're not good. Yeah. I love it.
It's a good skill. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. The other thing I wanted to touch on was Warren Buffett issued his last letter.
Mm-hmm.
As chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, and in that letter, he had a lot of really sage advice. There's a lot of nuggets in it, and I encourage you to go read it. What was really interesting, more from an investment standpoint, he announced, or in their filings, they announced they bought Google.
Yep,
and it's up big and after in pre-market for tomorrow because it got announced Friday afternoon. So I think it's up 5% already,
which is a gigantic amount for a $2-3 trillion company.
Yeah, exactly. And so what's interesting is I remember the moment. I'm saying this because I remember the moment he bought Apple, and I laughed and I was like, "This guy missed the biggest technological revolution ever." And then from the moment Warren Buffett bought Apple to today, more equity value was created than the entire history of the company.
Yep.
And so as much as we want to clown the old generation of investors and finance people, they're really, really, really good. And it's interesting that he woke up whenever in the last 3 months and realized that this is a forever investment, and Google is now in the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio. So even though it popped whatever today, you're looking 10 years out, they clearly see a path where this is going to earn above the S&P 500 8-9% average.
Yeah, I mean it's up almost 7%. I just looked right now in pre-market.
Okay.
So here's the thing people probably don't understand about Buffett, and which is why he's able to be so patient and take these big swings once the dust has already settled and the winners have already been chosen, right? Apple, when he invested a large amount of capital, they won.
Yeah.
Right. And they were going to spit out cash for the next decade. They won, and he saw that. So Warren Buffett, the genius of Warren Buffett, he's the GOAT. I'm not taking any shots at Buffett. No one can. He's literally the best of all time. He has an insurance business that spits out premiums, that spits out a shitload of cash. So that cash comes in every year for decades. And so he stockpiles a ton of cash, and he gets to sit and patiently be like, hey, you know what I think? Railroads. And then he goes and buys the biggest railroad company in America. Oh, Occidental Petroleum. Yeah, gas isn't going anywhere. Let's buy that. Oh, look, I walk around the world. Everyone has an iPhone. Cool. Let's buy Apple. Yeah. So he's able to take these very patient bets because he has the cash cow on the other side, which is the genius of Warren Buffett.
Yeah. But to be fair, those bets over a long period of time, those stocks that he did buy have played out to be incredible performers. today he's holding record cash. I think it's like 350 billion. I think he's the second largest buyer of U.S. Treasuries, maybe even number one at this point, like ahead of China. And he's setting off into retirement. He's got his team that is now running the business. I actually think they'll be fine. I think he's probably instilled such incredible values into the company that I was actually looking at the other day. I was like, am I better off now? Berkshire Hathaway has not performed the last couple of years because they have too much cash. I was thinking S&P is like overperformed. Would it be better to move my money into Berkshire Hathaway and get out of S&P?
With Warren checking out on basically being like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't bet on whoever is the next person because Munger's gone.
Yeah. Okay. You don't think there's...
I'd bet on the 500 best companies in the world.
I mean, I'd bet on the 7. I don't even need the 500.
Sure.
Yeah, it was very interesting. The other big news in finance has been crypto the last 7 days. It touched like kind of annual low since the beginning of the year, basically making it almost flat, specifically Bitcoin. Ethereum's now down 8% for the year. Does anyone know why crypto's selling off? Like, it should be on par with the NASDAQ, in my opinion. But
so, I mean, there's speculation, right? So no one really knows the exact reason, but me as someone that follows it fairly closely, my suspicion, it's leverage. So I think internationally, I think US is still pretty tame. I think on Coinbase, you get up to 50x leverage, but you have to hit all these like milestones to be able to even access that. So it's not widely available for everyone to get 50x leverage. But internationally in Asia, you can get 100x leverage, 150x leverage, 200x leverage.
So when it goes down a few points, everyone has to dump.
Everyone liquidates. And, you know, the thing, you hear all the news that institutions and governments are buying, which they are. They're buying it on OTC, over the counter, so it doesn't impact the price. So people are stocking crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name the other fairly big assets in the crypto world. They're stockpiling. And the people that are getting liquidated are the levered. These could be hedge funds. These could be individuals. And, you know, the cycle's never ending to an extent, because once we hit these new lows, like you said, Bitcoin's kind of flat year over year. I think it was 94 literally today, last year. And I think that's what it is today. And Ethereum's down a little bit. But now you have like quote unquote new lows from the last 6 months. So people are going to re-lever and then they're going to get smoked again. So I don't know how you get out of that cycle. It's really just large players actually buying on chain, like on exchanges. Then it would show, okay, yeah.
Well,
like if Warren Buffett, like when Warren Buffett decided to buy Google, he's calling his broker, whether it's Goldman, Morgan, who knows who it is. And that's why the stock's up 7%.
Yeah.
That's not happening in crypto. They're buying it in the shadows.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, look, but if there's enough demand, the price will go up, right? Like it is a supply demand game at the end of the day. I think the reality is there is a lot of fear in the market, and risk assets obviously get disproportionately punished in a fear-driven market. And, you know, the big news of the week in finance that everyone made a big deal of, which I don't even understand why, but Michael Burry basically shut down his fund. And he said he has like one trade left, and it's like shorting Nvidia and Palantir. And he just, you know, he gave all these cryptic, like, you know, poetic phrases about why he's leaving. Like it's not worth playing the game or whatever it is. Dude, this guy was right once. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and his trade is $9 million on the Nvidia short. The notional value is $9 million. So if he's wrong, he loses $9 million.
Which is,
and The media makes it seem like he has hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, which he does not. Yeah. And I think, I've always thought this about short sellers. It's just a shitty way to live your life, like rooting for people to fail. And they put under the guise like, oh, we're discovering fraud. It's pretty hard to kind of just spend your entire career just looking for fraud rather than looking for great companies, right? Like since The Big Short, had he just put in Apple and Google, he would have made more money off that than he would have. He
spends all day trying to find some weird alpha, and then, well, I mean, I think that's the problem is that you as a fund manager you can't raise money if you don't have a thesis that people believe in, whether it plays out or not. It's not a good selling tactic. They're like, hey, Michael, so, how do you think about the, economy in the next 5 years? He's like, I got a great story. There's a place where you can invest in the 500 best companies in America. Let's just roll the dice there. No one's giving you money to do that.
I get it. But if you look at any hedge fund and the returns, it's 7 companies that have created all their outsized returns. They're the only ones that have beaten the market. Yeah. It's Meta, Google, Tesla, Netflix, Apple, like it's Nvidia. It's the same. It's the usual suspects. Yeah. Investing isn't as hard as fund managers want you to think it is, but they get paid that 2 and 20, which I still don't know why LPs do it. Just buy the S&P 500.
I'll tell you why. Because you do want,
and venture's even worse. There's only 5 funds that outperform the S&P.
But like it's just like it's a combination of it's exciting, it's sexy, and it has panned out. Not a lot, but it has panned out to be better in certain instances. So there will always be, and we want people to have risk allocation. It's important for like American dominance that if you manage $1 trillion, to put 10 billion into VC is not a big deal.
Agree. Yeah.
So 10 billion and that's what it is. Yeah, they're not putting 10% of their allocation into venture. They're putting 1%. And so at 1%, why not? It's like, you said it before. You should put 1% into Bitcoin. You should put 1% into VC, 1% into the Michael Burrys of the world. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a crazy story.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's fine too, in the sense that if you actually are a good fund manager, you use it as a learning exercise. Like, okay, I'm going to burn $10 billion so I can understand what the next frontier is. So it'll make me better at investing in other areas.
Yeah.
That I think is the right way to think about it. Don't invest 10 billion in some shitty VC thinking you're going to make a return. Just invest in the shitty VC and be like, oh yeah, there's this one hardware company, robotics company out of the 50 they invested in. That's interesting. I could follow that pattern when I think about future things. I think that's the right way to think about it.
Yeah, you invest in the venture fund to basically get learnings to be like, oh, this is where all the heat in the market is. In the public market, let's get exposure there and we'll benefit from it, right? Like,
yep. I think that's I just hope that's how they actually are thinking about it.
I think some people are. I don't think all people are, but like, I think it's easier just to like, let's allocate some. It may or may not return. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
It's like, it's your college. It's like you're investing in college for investing. Yeah. You're learning about early stage companies in these various different frontier markets, and you're trying to get smart on it. If you think about it that way, I have no problem.
Yeah, agreed. All right, big news. Trump, Epstein, Bill Clinton.
You're not even following the docket. I have no idea where you're going.
I'm moving fast because Trump just put out a big tweet just now. He told the House Republicans to release the files. Enough with the Democratic hosts. Over the weekend, from Thursday to today, a lot of emails from Epstein have leaked. Incredible content. Yep. Encouraged to get the summary. Just go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give you the Epstein summary on emails. One insinuated that Trump was giving oral sex to Bubba. Bubba is known as Bill Clinton. That's where we're at.
Yeah, if you want to go on a deep dive, go on polymarket.com. It's free. You can see what the public is betting on. This has a high propensity for action.
Yeah.
This specific interaction.
Yeah.
I think as of 48 hours ago, there was 3 million wagered on it, and 97% was in the affirmative.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. So I think Trump's like, all right, this is what people think at this point. I think for him, from a pure ego standpoint, it's better for his legacy in his mind that it proves that he did not give a blowjob to Bill Clinton, but he had sex with the girl.
That's what a lot of people are speculating on Twitter.
Yeah.
That he's going to release it because he wants to prove he was banging girls, not giving Clinton a blowjob.
Yeah. Because that would be very bad. Both parts. But in his mind, giving Bill Clinton. Do you know how insane? I want to remind people, we're just, callously talking about Epstein and Clinton and Trump. We couldn't fathom something like this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that there was a guy that basically, and you should read the emails. It's insane. It is the who's who of the world. It's Gates. It's homie from BlackRock. It's Steve Bannon. It's Trump. It's Bill Clinton. It's Hillary Clinton. It's literally the elite of the elite. And this guy was with all of them. It's so insane.
Yeah, I think at this point, anyone that's done deep dives on podcasts like a Rogan type or any of these, I would say credible people, he definitely was employed by a foreign intelligence agency.
Yeah.
Which one? Was it domestic or was it foreign? We don't know. But there's no way you had access. He was like a school teacher. Yeah. None of it adds up. It's similar to like a lot of different conspiracy theories. How'd this guy get access? Look, we've been in rooms with like some pretty important people, but there's a line where we just can't cross, right? In terms of we don't get to that next access level. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you're with. There's clear delineations. Doesn't even matter if we're at the same conference. There's always like the next level, and only very verified people get to that next level.
Yeah.
And he clearly was that next level times 100.
Yeah.
So how did he do it? And who paid for him to do all this? Who gave him the money? He had everyone in his back pocket. And it's so obvious. Someone bigger than just some random dude named Jeffrey Epstein was behind this whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, yeah, it to me, there's only like a few options of governments, United States or foreign. But like, I don't think anyone else, like, I don't think a private citizen cares this much.
Cares this much to have all these people.
Yeah. Who cares?
Compromised?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like,
unless they were getting money from it. That's it.
It's not enough money.
That's what everyone suspects Diddy was doing. He was compromising everyone so that he had them whenever he needed a feature, album release, promotion.
I think Diddy was just a sicko.
Yeah, maybe. It might have been both.
Like, I think it was a power trip.
He used it blackmail.
Power trip sicko.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays
I don't think we'll ever get conclusion. We still don't know what happened to JFK. We're almost 60 years past that at this point.
I mean, I think we know what happens. I think the United States government killed him.
Yeah, but we were told in the campaign that it'd be released on day one.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Here's my one with Trump. Everyone thinks he's a piece of shit, right? Like, even his own party. If I'm him, I think I take the 8 Mile B Rabbit route and just release everything about myself. Who cares?
His fans won't.
I don't think what could happen. What could be released where they hate him?
His fans, nothing.
Nothing, right? Nothing. I can't think of anything.
Because I think he said this in 2015. I could walk down Fifth Avenue and shoot someone in the face and no one's going to care.
Yeah, he's right.
That was in 15. He's way bigger now.
Yeah, he's
25.
Yeah. He could shoot 10 people. So I think he's overthinking it. I think he should just release it.
No, I think that's what he said today. He's like, release everything.
I think the Bill Clinton,
he had his weekend in Mar-a-Lago. He was on his way back on Air Force One to the White House. Yeah. He was about to board Marine One, and he did his little gaggle with the reporters and said, release it all. Yeah,
because I think, one of his buddies said, oh, you blew Bill Clinton? And then he was just like,
and he probably got pissed.
And he's like, enough's enough. He went back to the Marine One and said, release it all.
Yeah, that's the one thing. If, we call him Teflon Don. If that got confirmed, he's no longer Teflon Don. I think he loses his base.
Oh, yeah. But I think he knows it's fake. And I actually believe it's fake. So he's like...
You're the one that believes everything, by the way.
I think he's a womanizer.
You kind of stand on that hill. It doesn't matter about Trump or anything. You believe anytime there's a rumor of some salacious celebrity, some conspiracy, you're like 100% it's true.
I didn't get that from the emails because I actually read all of them. I didn't get that he was doming up Billy. I didn't get that vibe. That's not what I gathered from it. I gathered more of
by all accounts, Billy's pretty straight given his sexual past.
That's my point. It's Trump might be, but I don't know if Billy is. Billy's old school.
Billy seems very straight. He's locker room talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's big locker room talk guy. So we'll see what happens, but fascinating to see in our lifetime, I think the biggest news events will be 9/11, COVID, Epstein. I don't think those three will ever be topped.
But if you just think about the state of the discourse in America, the two biggest things over the weekend was Trump giving Clinton a blowjob and may I meet you in the memes. That was the whole weekend.
On X, not in regular life. In regular life, it was college football was the biggest thing of the weekend.
But on X, those were the two trending topics.
Yeah. Fascinating. Another, not on our docket, but I just read it right before.
Jesus Christ.
I'm moving around.
I have no idea what we're talking about, guys.
Okay, Google. Speaking of Google, on why Warren Buffett loves it, they just announced a feature tonight that is so game-changing. And I just tried it right before the pod. You can now go in Gmail, and it helps you schedule your meeting by looking up your calendar live, instant.
Didn't you say they did this a while ago? I remember you talking about this.
Yes. So there was a prompt where you can do it, but it was not easy to use. Now you literally so on the desktop, I've not tried it on my phone yet, but when you're hitting reply and you look at the bottom right of all the icons, there is a calendar thing that says set up a time to meet. And you literally say 30 minutes, great, proposes times you're free. You pick a date. You say you literally say, okay, 30 minutes on, Wednesday, and boom, it gives you all the times. I mean, this is what a majority of assistants do every single day, is try to help whoever they help manage their calendar.
So this is like a Calendly killer.
Calendly, the issue with Calendly for me was I I found it to be very condescending to send someone a Calendly. And so I think like that part was very like tough for me, but I think like what we have
Yeah,
today,
especially when people send the 15 minutes, like go fuck yourself.
yeah. So
You have 15 minutes to talk.
yeah. So but I think this version of it is really easy, where it populates a very easy clickable thing about like these are the times that are available, that then allows you to book time on their calendar, and it just integrates really well with the message. And you know, I don't know how to quantify this, but one of the things that I love about AI is the productivity boom. I think people are just so focused on like job replacement and job removal, while I'm looking at it purely from a productivity issue. And the amount of time, if you calculate an American workforce where they're trying to find a time that works for 2-3 parties to meet, it's insane. I bet you it's billions of hours a week that is just like sucked up in trying to coordinate calendars. This is the easiest, and it's free. It's completely free. So I am like, this is why I'm so bullish on AI, and I'm not worried about like all the doomsday kind of talk. I'm excited that it's just a simple, easy solution to like solve very basic time sucks that happen every day.
You know, the thing with assistants, and if you're a high profile exec, I think it's actually negatively impacts you that the assistant knows who you're meeting with all the time. So if you think about some of the big shots, right? Azuk, Alex Karp, Brian Armstrong, Elon, they can't have someone else knowing who they're meeting with in some of these like super confidential.
Okay, but that's
meetings.
like the top.
But even just lower it to even a small business, like, oh, why is this person talking to a marketing person from another company? And then the assistant goes and blabs their mouth because they go get coffee with the other marketing person.
Yeah, well,
and say,
that's gone. There's no more blabbing.
What do you mean there's no more blabbing?
Well, because now it's just AI to AI. We're good.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, yeah. Dude, even the companies we ran in such a small scale in the clothing world, if people found out you were meeting with someone, people start talking in the locker, in the water cooler. They're like, what's going on? Why is Dee doing this?
Yeah.
Why did he go there?
Yeah.
Are we in trouble? That happens at every company, small to big to massive. Yeah. And I do think assistants, it's just human nature. It's not assistants. Everyone just talks. Everyone talks about everything.
Yeah. All right. This is great then. This is an incredible solution that I think this is the beginning of more to come here.
Yeah. All right. Are we going back on the docket? Or are you still firing?
I might
this
fire
is
around.
My speech and debate's coming
useful
to fruition.
The other big topic that's been bubbling with our guy Bill Ackman was around student debt.
Okay.
He's been talking about one way to solve the student debt crisis is making the school itself responsible for the first 20% of it and holding them accountable on that dollar sum. And so basically then it makes it feel like they have skin in the game. Right now, today, the school has no obligation to have a good result with any of the students. And we have record high unemployment among recent college graduates because of the kind of job market today in the United States. And so this is the kind of perfect time to rip the collegiate system and make some amazing changes. And it starts with the cost of school. And then it starts with what everyone's really complaining about. Like, we will casually give anyone $50,000 a year to go get a college degree. But God forbid they want to start a business, own a home. It's impossible to get a loan to do these things. But they'll give you $200,000 to go get a shitty fucking degree all day. All day.
Yeah, and I think this ties into one of the other things on the docket. Ford has a shortage of mechanics that is at the number of 5,000 jobs right now that they cannot fill that would be paid $120,000 a year. It takes 5 years to train.
Yep.
So it's not like you can just go overnight and become a qualified mechanic for whatever they require you to do. But college is 4 years. How many undergrad kids are leaving a 4-year university with a $120,000 salary? Less than 0.01%?
Yeah. Those are only people that are going to like
finance, banking. Or accountants
like,
make 45K.
Or big tech.
Big tech, even 120. I don't know if big tech's paying 120 for if you're not an engineer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying if you're an engineer at big tech, you're making that.
Sure. Still, if you think about nationally, it's still 0.01%. And I think the real kind of solution to this whole college debacle, which I've been screaming from the mountaintop since we started this pod 9-10 years ago, is you don't gain the skills in college to get the job that's going to set you up for this, like, you know, quintessential American life. You build a family, you can get a home, you can have a backyard, you can get your kids in school, and healthcare is provided for. It's just not realistic anymore. And we need to rethink how kids in all these schools, and let's eliminate the 0.01%. Let's talk about the people that are doing philosophy, humanity studies, and all these different majors that you're not going to get a job when you graduate. So what are you doing this for? To go party and see Lane Kiffin try to get you a national title?
No.
Arch Manning, like, what are you doing?
No, I disagree with that. I actually think I think the college experience is game changing. I think it is so important.
It's game changing if you come out of it on the right side.
No,
but think about how many kids you're talking about. Your peers, they all are successful.
No. It's nothing to do with. Forget it. What I'm saying is you're not. I'm not talking about the end result. I'm talking about the actual experience of going to college is awesome, and so I want everyone.
It's fun.
So I want everyone to have it. It's also fun, but you do grow up. There's things that you learn in college that you do not learn anywhere else in life. And so I think the piece that's important is the cost structure. These colleges are bloated. They have like 5,000 people that make way too much money, fire all of them. They charge way too much money. They're fucking nonprofits.
Yeah, that's the obvious answer, but we know it's not going to happen.
I know, but
it's the same way that Big Pharma is not going to stop advertising on ESPN 24/7 every college football game, every NFL game.
But I would say that, look, take the red dye issue. Do you see Doritos? They just launched a dye-free version of the Doritos.
Yeah, I saw it, the NKD.
You can make change. Like, you know, there's the thing on the internet. They say you could just do things. Yeah, you could do whatever you want. It's just that we don't have politicians that actually care. I think the reason why I like the Trump administration is, like, whether you like their decisions or not, they just do things. He wanted to tear off the world. He tariffed the world. He wanted to shut down the bars.
So just think about it realistically. The cost structure at college, will it come down in the next 20 years?
Yes, 100%.
In what manner?
I think
like USC is not going to be $75,000 a year.
I think it will be $75,000 a year.
It'll probably be 100 in 5 years.
Sure, it could be that. I don't think there will be a willing loan provider at that price. I think what happens is if you get financial aid, your tuition is $25,000. So you're actually going into debt for $25,000 a year. And then the families that can afford, it's basically what I'm proposing is like, this is my version of like UBI. If you have the money, you're going to pay full pop. If you don't have the money, you're going to get a loan, but you're going to get a loan at a discounted value of that same experience. That's how I think it's going to go down. That's the difference.
In theory, it makes sense. I just don't think it happens. It's similar to...
There are schools that have dropped their tuition. Santa Clara Law School dropped their tuition this year by 3-4%. Like, It is happening. There are
3-4%.
colleges, but they dropped it. It didn't go up. So in 5 years from now,
and how many students are at Santa Clara Law?
But it's going to set the tone. I don't
think it's changing. I'll tell you why it's not changing.
I want you to remind you what you said on the pod when you said it. You said it, that it was a game-changing thing because it's going to get top kids that grow up in that neighborhood to want to go there because it is cheaper than going to a $75,000 a year law school. That's exactly what you said a few weeks ago.
No, so, I think that's right. If it happened nationally, I'm just saying Santa Clara is a small
it'll happen.
Piece.
Johns Hopkins, on the med school front, there's so many kids are now getting free education. There are schools that are changing it. Change doesn't happen overnight. Like it is a methodical.
Yeah, but this has been talked about for 25 years.
No, but I'm telling you.
The only difference is the youth are screwed. They have no money and they have no way out.
Yes, and I think the Trump era, what it brought in was you can make radical change immediately. You do not have to listen to the system. This is what Mamdani is about. These people have realized you don't have to follow any rules that all these people take. It's like tradition doesn't matter. You could do whatever you want, whenever you want. That is the power of what's happening now. And that's why I like it.
I think in theory it makes sense. And if it happens, great. The skeptic in me is basically, this is what people talk about the deep state in government. You have bureaucrats that have been there for decades. They just wait out one administration to the next. They go nowhere and they keep their agenda. And that's actually what the deep state is. If you listen to any geopolitical expert, there's not this like secret society that's the deep state. The deep state is the bureaucrat that gets to be employed for 40 years, never gets fired. They get to pursue whatever agenda that is, whatever they want, because they are employed for life.
Yeah.
That's similar to administrators in college.
Yeah.
And until that is broken, I don't buy any of this is changing. You'll have the Santa Clara. You may have Johns Hopkins. USC did a good thing with giving academic scholarships 25 years ago to get kids like that had high SAT scores and high GPAs to raise the bar. Yes, you will have exceptions, but the deep state is just as emboldened in these colleges. It's tens of thousands of jobs across the country, hundreds of thousands of jobs, if not millions.
Yeah.
You can't just fire them. And they're not going to be along for the change. They've been there 25 years.
Yeah. So I agree. I think it'll happen at a mega school where a donor will come in. This is how I think it's actually going to play out. A donor is going to come in and say, here's $5 billion. You're burning this whole way of doing business down to the ground. And they'll do it because that one school will be emboldened because they have the money to back them. And that will cause a structural change in academics. I'm so confident that's going to happen. Like it's going to be like an Elon, or it's going to be one of these radical entrepreneur types like an Alex Karp or whoever. One of these guys is going to be like, fuck it. Here's the money. Change the way you do business. And then that will cause a domino effect of like, here's the thing. The beauty of all this wealth that's being created. Like think about Mackenzie Bezos. What is she giving all her money away for? Has she gotten a return on society? No, she's not. She's not doing it in the right way, in my opinion. I think she's just like giving it away because she just hates her husband. So fine, give it away. But like, what's the impact? Like you should, if you're giving away $100 billion, you should be documenting it and sharing the updates with humanity so that it's actually making the place better. I think
you can't put that burden on the donor. The donor can do whatever they want. They're giving it away. They're not asking for anything in return.
Like, I think in the method that she's giving away her money, she's not holding.
But we don't know. She's not doing interviews. You don't know how she's thinking about it.
But we see where she's giving the money. She gave all this money to HBCUs. Great, well deserved set of colleges. What are you holding them accountable to do? What is the result? You could
say that for any donor.
I agree. But I'm saying she's the richest donor. She's number one in the world. Nobody gives more money away than her. She's the king.
With the pledge, everyone is.
I know, but right now, Mackenzie Bezos is the biggest donor in the world, bar none. There's no one close. So I'm going to have to hold her accountable.
Not, but sure, she's the most public. There's a lot of donors that are private.
She's giving away all of her money, 100% while she's alive. Not like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is whatever, like over decades he's going to give it away. She's torching it in like 5 years.
Yeah, I think holding her to a standard, sure, you could do that if you have a personal bone to pick with her, but I don't think you can hold donors accountable for anything because they're giving it away. It's their discretion.
Oh, TMZ, by the way, just reported Bubba is not Bill Clinton. Jeffrey Epstein's brother just said.
So who's Bubba? Bubba Watson?
Bubba must be
the golf guy.
We'll never know. Yeah, because we're never going to know about anything about that trial. But yeah, look, I'm excited to see how the
all right, let's get to Nike and Steph Curry. I think that's the most interesting thing we have left.
So Nike earnings came out. They grew by 1%. Stock got a little bit of a pop. But, you know, like all retail and consumer stocks are still struggling. It's kind of at like an all-time, like a 5-year low. It basically has not gone up in 5 years. They feel like they've hit the bottom and they're on their way up. Simultaneously, On Running reported earnings, and they are on fire. 35% growth. They're not discounting anything. They're like, we're a full-price brand. We don't give a shit. Nike over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this, but Ross Stores, which is a mega discounter in America, if you don't live in America, had the military Jordan Blues 4s for $85. Which is, I don't know, like a $160, $180, $180 pair of shoes. Just to give you context on what that means. So the Ross Stores, TJ Maxx, Burlington, the way they operate is they do not buy a brand unless the brand gives them a release saying, hey, TJ Maxx, Ross, we allow you to sell our brand. And the reason why is historically, people used to sell these brands to these retailers, and sometimes they were fake, sometimes they were stolen, and so the retailer got in big trouble. They have now changed the way they operate, and they're very, very strict. So when I saw that the Ross stores were carrying Jordans, it means that Nike sold it directly to Ross, which historically, if Nike sold goods to discounters, it would not be Jordan 4s, which is like one of their most coveted shoes in their, you know, company history.
Mm-hmm.
They're nowhere near a turnaround. They're not anywhere near it. They may have hit the bottom. They're not on the upswing. And I know a lot of people want to believe that's what's happening at Nike. It's just not. I haven't seen any sign. There's even a trend on Memeville where young Gen Z guys, like predominantly young cool black guys, said no more Nike Tech Fleece. Now it's all quarter zips. And so they're wearing quarter zip fleece, quarter zip sweaters instead of their Nike Tech Fleece. That's not good for Nike.
Yeah, I mean, even just kind of anecdotally, I was at Century City Mall yesterday and today, walking around with the kid, with Mav, and I saw so much aloe as casual athleisure.
Too much aloe.
And a lot of Yuri.
Yeah.
And I saw that V on the bottom right of the long sleeve or the zip up.
Yeah.
Saw the V and I saw aloe. I did not see Nike.
Yeah. Yeah. That tells you everything. And then Under Armour.
And that's a pretty like wide demographic. Yeah. It's one of the busiest malls in Southern California. So you're getting people international, local, every pocket of whatever you can think of. And it used to be you wear your Nike zip up or your Nike hoodie. You just don't see it. The only time I see it is the athletes on ESPN
and they get paid.
Sponsored.
Yeah, they get paid. And then the other
Giannis
big news,
wears this Nike.
The other big news is Under Armour parted ways with Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you think about like one of the biggest fumbles in, like Steph Curry was their Michael Jordan.
Yep.
one of the most influential athletes of all time, changed the game.
Still is, by the way.
Still is. And nobody wears the damn shoes. Nobody.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, I've seen kids wear them 10 years ago. I do not see anyone
I don't know. You're
wearing.
in youth sports. Is anyone wearing Under Armour?
I see t-shirts. I see Under Armour t-shirts. Definitely see t-shirts. In the shoe game, in basketball, I see the LaMelos, which I think is Puma.
He's huge. Yep.
I see Giannis. I
think Ja Morant's shoe's big too.
I haven't seen that. I don't know what it looks like. I'm sure I've seen it. And then I've seen.
I think Kyrie's Anta is pretty hot.
Kyrie Antas are very popular. But yeah, like it's all like the new young kids. Those are all the more popular shoes. Not Steph, which is crazy.
Yeah, so Steph is basically a free agent. He gets to decide what he wants to do. Everything his camp is leaking is that it's Steph Curry brand, and he may partner with a larger, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Nike, to build a Steph Curry brand. The first public game that he played post leaving Under Armour, he was wearing the Mambacitas, the Nikes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to keep teasing every company.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the most marketable guy in basketball by far. Like, it's not even close at this point. Like, LeBron's older. Love LeBron, but Steph is, from a marketing standpoint, he's the guy. He's relatable to young kids. Even though everyone thinks he's so small and cute, he's actually like 6'3" and jacked. Like, he's not like this 5'8" guy that... It's just funny he gets that perception. But he's someone that kids just all want to be. And everyone who has kids in youth basketball, they all shoot from 35 feet in airball because they see Curry doing it in the NBA.
100%.
But I'm curious where he goes. He could do a million things. And he's still in his prime. He's still crazy famous. I'm curious what Kyrie makes off the Anta deal. I bet you it's more than any other NBA player with their shoe deals.
Probably less than LeBron.
Less than LeBron, but outside LeBron, it's got to be Kyrie.
Amazing. All right.
And the thing, so Nike actually fumbled it. I don't know if you know the backstory. When he was deciding.
Oh, yeah. There was like a presentation where they fucked up or something.
They used Kevin Durant's.
Yeah.
And they forgot to take Durant off the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Whoever that person, I hope he's been fired.
I mean, Nike.
That's literally the biggest fumble of the last 20 years for Nike.
I mean,
not having Steph.
Nike stays. I mean, they don't have Shohei. They don't have Cooper. They have nothing.
Yeah. And they could have had Steph.
By the way, the only person I think Nike has that's relevant is Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she's a superstar.
But like, there's no product.
That's stupid because she's the biggest draw in women's sports globally.
I mean, and I think men would wear Caitlin Clark too. I think
100%. The culture loves Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Like all those NBA podcasters, they love Caitlin Clark.
So I think that is their biggest athlete that they have. And I don't think they're taking advantage of it. And then, I think like over the last week, everyone saw Shohei's like little chart of like what he did as a freshman in high school. I don't know if you saw this, where he wrote down like all of his goals and all the things that have to happen to reach his goal, which is to be the number one draft pick in the Japanese professional baseball league. And it's everything to do with strength and karma and how you treat people and swing. It's like, this guy's like maniacal in like how he thought about his life as a freshman in high school. That is like, that's where we're at. Like, we're not the same, like what inspires young people today is not what inspired people 30 years ago. Like,
yeah, the brashness is gone.
No.
Like Ohtani, for example, he like bows to the umpire.
He tips the hat.
Athletes typically athletes scream and yell at the umpire.
Well,
there was a famous instance this past season. He got hit. He got beaned by the pitcher, and his bench, the Dodgers wanted to clear, and he just waved him off. He's like, "Stop, just go back in.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to do that. Your star gets hit, you go and fight. And he's like, nope, we're not doing that. And everyone stood down.
Yeah. I think about that from like how great that is for sports or just humanity in general, that like basically the greatest athlete probably in our lifetime is not what you expect an athlete to be. So it basically shuts everyone else down because you can't act like that if the greatest person doesn't act like that. You just can't. Like, you cannot act like anything better than Shohei because he is the GOAT.
I'm curious if it translates to youth, because everything I hear about youth sports from my friends, the kids are a little older than Dom. So like call it 10 to 12. It's pretty nasty out there.
Well, I do think there's just a competitive nature that will always be, but I think it'll take, I don't expect a 12-year-old. I think a 12-year-old should be an asshole. Like, I don't think 12-year-olds are meant to be like kind little boys. Like, but I think what happens over time is that I think in high school and college and eventually if they go to the pros, I think it's going to be a very different experience. I would go across all sports. Like, think about the NBA. Who's like a bad guy in the NBA? Draymond and that guy Dylan, whatever. Like, there's like 5 bad guys.
And they're not even bad.
Yeah.
They just talk shit.
Yeah, but like
John Morant's the bad guy. He's the one with the guns.
Yeah, but like, he's just doing air guns. He's not actually like shooting players after the game. They're very different. So I think
that was more of an early 2000s NBA thing. Yeah, these guys
like,
aren't.
These kids are all like
these guys are pros at the age of 13.
Well, they're all nepo babies. They're all rich.
They're
kids.
nepo babies, but even if you're not a nepo baby, if you are on the trajectory, you were a pro at 13, 14.
Yeah.
You're getting whisked away to a different house, different trainers, different chefs, like all that's happening.
Yeah.
And with NIL, you start making money at 14.
Yeah, which is hot. All right. Great episode.
What do you think? I actually know this for a fact. Like a star basketball player that would be a top 15 pick if they stay next year, how much you think they make? I actually was told this number last week.
In college?
Yeah. Top 15 lottery pick.
4 million.
5.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, college is fun. Incredible. All right. We have some shout outs, I think. One YouTube comment. Here we go. To sit here and believe prices will drop when tariffs go away is laughable. The taxes on the imports will go away, but when prices go up, rarely do they come down. At Sunny Patel. So you may be right, but I will say if there is no demand, prices will drop, and that's what's happening. I don't know if are you one of those people like me that look on Zillow or Trulia every night just to see your neighborhood?
Who, me? No.
Yeah. Okay. I look every night. Prices are dropping.
Is there inventory though?
Well, enough. There's shit that's sitting, and I'm telling you, like, in my neighborhood, a 3-4 bedroom house typically rents between $12,000 and $25,000 a month. There is now stuff under $10,000, which I've not seen since we moved into the neighborhood.
Yeah, because apartments, 2-bedroom, nice apartments are $8,000.
Yeah,
for a nice 2-bedroom apartment.
In our neighborhood, we moved in a long time ago, so our rent's amazing. But like everything is like in that, 12, 14, 18. Then really nice ones are like 24, 25. And there's shit at $8-9 grand again. And so on the tariff side of things, I think prices will drop because if there's people don't buy it, you will drop your price. I think luxury brands, I don't think.
I think LA is going to be unique on the real estate side because how much of the economy of LA is Hollywood and real estate. Both sectors are getting hit pretty hard. So we went through the numbers a few podcasts ago, 40% fewer movies being made, 40% fewer staff, 40% reduction in box office. So there's a trickle down for sound effects guys, writers, directors, producers, actors, and that whole economy is struggling.
Yeah.
Then real estate, interest rates are so high, a lot of people got smoked.
Yeah.
And their developments can't be finished and they foreclose and they go belly up. So I think LA is unique in sense that I think you're going to find deals. It's just when people capitulate.
But that happened with San Francisco for 5 years, right? Like San Francisco was dead until this year.
Yeah, AI brought it all back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like LA will, every major city.
I think, there'll be another boom in LA. What industry that is, I don't know. But those two, I think, were the biggest drivers in our adulthood.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that, a lot of cities that are going to go through their ebbs and flows. Like Austin has like huge rent reductions across the board. I heard Jason talk about it. He claims it's because they're building. They are. So, and a lot of people have said that.
That's his reason for why the rents are down 20%, because there's just more supply. Yeah. Which, if that is actually the reason, that's great.
Yeah. I think LA, we don't have enough supply still. We need more supply.
No, we don't. You can't build anything.
Yeah. So I'm optimistic that.
There's not one permit in Malibu since the fires. Are we 2 years in?
No. The fire happened last January.
Okay, fine. 12 months in. Can't get a permit.
All right. Next shout out from Laura. Can you guys share your favorite restaurants on the pod and also favorite Indian places in LA? Laura, I am very, very loyal to one group. It is the H-word group. If I go out to eat, I eat at Nice Guy, I eat at Delilah, or I go to their members club that they have. Those are my 3 spots. I don't really eat out outside of that. I eat out with my kids, and they like In-N-Out, and they like where we do go a lot during the day. 2 restaurants, Escuela and Teroni. Great food.
Teroni's great. I think.
And then Indian food in India's Grill on Wilshire Boulevard. Shout out to India's Grill.
India's Grill. I've known the family almost 20 years now.
Pija Palace. Fire.
Great people. Badmash is good.
Badmash is great. Badmash is fun because Badmash and Pija Palace have like a vibe, which Indian restaurant historically in LA.
Yeah, they're young folks around our age that started it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring like that pop culture vibe to Indian food. Because in New York, Indian food's typically like old and like tired.
So I've eaten in New York at a lot of the popular Indian restaurants recently. They're just like so different than LA and in San Francisco. Like they're just legit like fun, trendy, sceney restaurants. Which is fun to go to. But there's a lot of great restaurants in LA. We'll put together a list for the future. I feel like I've gone to some recently good restaurants. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Next one from Neil. Shout out to my boy Suraj. He's going to be a boy dad soon, and just want to give him and his wife Meha a huge congratulations. And Juhi and I can't wait to raise our kids together with you guys. Future CEO of Marqeta, we outside. Guess what? When you have kids, you're inside. You're the exact opposite of outside. Sorry to burst your bubble. You inside. Especially when it was raining in LA the last 48 hours. Oh my God. Too much inside.
Yeah, it was rough.
Like rain in LA with kids, because like we don't got like basements and shit. Like it is incredible episode. We're gonna do an episode on Wednesday. We have I got to meet Ethan Agrawal. He is running for governor of California. You know how I feel about Gavin Newsom. That's Anand's boy. I hate Gavin Newsom. And I was very excited to meet someone running for governor. We hung out a few weeks ago. He's coming on the pod on Wednesday, and hopefully that episode will come out Wednesday night, Thursday.
Nice.
All right, Kathy's, thank you. We will see you this week.
And futures are up. I don't know what Trump said tonight, but futures are up.
Epstein files. They're out. Bubba.
Bubba.
All right.
Peace.